So our final speaker for the day, Dr. Gilbert, is a licensed psychologist, has been in practice for 36 years. For the last dozen years, he's worked at Kaiser Permanente in San Francisco in the chronic pain department, where he heads a biofeedback program, chronic headache program, and also has general duties of pain management. He's written and presented on hyperventilation, hypnosis, biofeedback, headaches, and the placebo effect. He has had a long career as a specialist in biofeedback, working with stress-related problems and mind-body miscommunication, most of it in New Jersey, which he tells us was not his fault. All right, turn it over to Dr. Gilbert.
Thank you. All right, everybody's here. I have about 35 minutes. I want to warm you up to the topic, and then we'll have 10 to 15 minutes of a demonstration of skin conductance and muscle tension. It's brief, but it gives you a taste. People often talk more about biofeedback than actually show you how it's done, and we want to give you a chance today to do that. It's really an odd thing to ask a person to learn to control their body better. I've done this so long, and I never quite get over the audacity of presuming to tell a person, I can show you how to run your body better. They've lived in it. They were born in it. And I, a stranger, come along and say, you could do this differently. And it appeals only to people initially who really like to change their own oil, do-it-yourself types. They do not take naturally to being told, you can run your body differently. And they overestimate how much is possible, or they think it's impossible. The truth is somewhere in between. But the people who really take to it immediately are often with backgrounds in yoga, maybe meditation. They've read enough about it to think, that appeals to me. I've got to kind of explore my kingdom. I'm the emperor of my domain. I have to extend my reach. And that's a very good attitude when they come in with it, but they rarely do. An example from the real world would be you take your car in to a car mechanic and you want the oil changed, and you say, I'll come back at 5. No, here's the oil pan, here's a can of oil, here's the punch, here's the wrench, take the oil nut off yourself. Go ahead. Wait a minute, I've got this headache, I've got a backache. I brought my body in here for you to fix it. I'd like to come back at 5 with the body fixed. That's strange and disjunction. And people are usually referred to me from physicians or other psychologists, and sometimes they hear about it and want to come in. Those are pre-sold, but more often a person has to be persuaded to consider that the pills are not the only solution to their problem. Since I work in a chronic pain clinic, it's almost always pain. And the combination of, let's say, esoteric yoga philosophy on the one hand, esoteric yoga skills plus operant conditioning. It's a marriage of those two thought systems, and the link is instrumentation, electronics. Always in principle similar to a mirror. If you went back to a civilization that did not have any mirrors, all they could do to look at their face is to look into a muddy pond and get their best guess. You suddenly come back from a time machine, here's your mirror, 20 cents from Woolworths. And it's a miracle. They can see their hair, they can fix their face. It's a big advance in power to change your appearance. Like all biofeedback has that built into it, an enhancement of natural sensory awareness of yourself. I sometimes think that between this operant conditioning and yoga philosophy, it's like V.F. Skinner gets together with Shirley MacLaine or something. They're very miles apart, but somehow it works. And I got into this early college. I thought this is the place for me. I still don't know why. But 36 years later, I'm still fascinated by it. I still don't know everything, but I'm still trying. Suppose, here's a common number of kinds of patients that come in to see me. They have fear of their body symptoms. They don't know what's going wrong with their bodies. They have these odd changes, shooting pains, or racing, or they can't move their arm as well as they'd like, or headaches or jaw tension. And they feel that they're kind of hijacked by their body. That's one category. And the people in our chronic pain clinic know, oh, this is the Chris kind of case. Send them in there because they're alienated from their bodies, really. They don't know what's going on. but they're looking for pills. They've already had 5 or 6 courses of different categories, and then they get to me and they say, you can live to do this yourself. At that point, they're intrigued. But it's nice to have that medical superstructure to normalize and legitimize this idea. Another category is the person that says, I'm tense all the time, I just can't let go. I work all day at the computer, but who doesn't? I come home and my shoulders are up like this. They won't relax. I can't relax my muscles. Just tailor-made for biofeedback. And nothing else quite works as well. Something like that, they have the desire, they have the awareness of the muscle aberration. They just need the link from outside to come back into their mind through a new route. And then they start to gradually get control over those muscles. Another common kind of person is after an auto accident or a fall or some kind of injury, they're just hypersensitive to anything that might be a sign of that happening again. So if they're hit from the right, they're sensitive to a car coming from the right forever after. They tense up too much and they're aware of it. They might jerk the steering wheel to the left and go to the oncoming traffic. So it's a phobic response, conditioned, involving the amygdala. It's very hard to get rid of that. But with different kinds of biofeedback, you can show them the beginning of that response in the body, skin conductance or heart rate or something, and have them imagine the feared object and imagine a peaceful green field or slow breathing, go back to the feared object, back and forth, and they can see on the screen. This gets lower and lower, calmer and calmer. It's fascinating work. They're accelerating the erosion of the phobia in a way over a couple sessions. Another category of person, maybe chronic headache, migraine, tension headache. I say, but people tell me to relax. I am relaxed. I'm relaxed as much as I can, but I've got to get this job done. I can't quit my job, can I? So I'm in the position of telling them to give up their income. I'm not saying that, but you can relax even more. They might feel they have relaxation skills already. I took a weekend yoga course, right? I studied meditation for almost 2 hours. And I give them the chance to see whether they really can relax according to the norms. Well, come on, let me hook you up. And they often leap at the chance, yeah, I'm really good at this. Can't teach me anything. And then their skin temperature 75 or muscle tension 3 times normal. And I show them the norms before so that I'm not just fooling them. So that's a fair sampling of the people that I work with all the time. And it's not all the people in chronic pain, but pain has a role in all of those stereotypes. Okay, let's get to the pictures. This is the, wait, I can look here. This is the main traits, I guess, features that I try to get to. The muscles, the breathing, the sense of being overwhelmed, no options, I'm out of control, I'm panicky. That's a psychological thing, but it has a lot of physical concomitants. Excessive stress that just doesn't go away. Just too many things piled up, so they don't go back down to a baseline. Autonomic instability, overreactions in the heart rates, overreactions in the breathing, startle response galore. Just the whole system is just out of whack. I found this phrase I used before, alienation from the body. They don't feel they're really in the right body, or I don't know what to do with my back. Can you give me a new back, doc, because this isn't working out? And of course, they're in it for life. They can't change it in for a new model. And they kind of realize that, but they just don't want to deal with a part of the body that's causing them so much pain. What a dilemma, because I have to. And in each of these cases, biofeedback has something to offer. And the thing I like about it is the externalization of a symptom. Instead of talking about how tight their body is, or how tight their neck is, or how much their stomach hurts, I can find a way to measure something that correlates with that and put it out on the screen. And they say, look, there's what happens in your stomach. Here's what happens in your low back. Here's what happens when you get panicky. And this, see, it externalizes and therefore makes it objective and detached, and they can approach it in a new way, rather than I'm assaulted from within, I'm hijacked by my body. It's, oh, I do this and that goes up. Yeah, I see it. It activates their constructive powers, their optimism maybe. It's a new task, new challenge. Okay, these are the goals to demonstrate. Really, it's important to demonstrate to the person's thinking mind that there is this link between mind and body. To some people, that's a surprise. Headache has nothing to do with emotions, except it causes them some anger and distress. But they can't imagine that emotions could have anything to do with the appearance of a symptom. To maximize their ability to relax, that's such a word. People think it means watching television or playing football on a Saturday. I try to define it narrowly as letting go of your muscles, calming down your body. The thing your body does when you're getting ready for sleep. You give up the grasping of tasks and things to do. Reduce reactivity to the pain itself. Pain is a cluster of sensation and reaction. It's all together. And the more you resist the pain, or be angry at pain, or be afraid of pain, the more it just seems to enlarge. Your process of looking at the pain more closely, it's like a magnifying glass. It gets bigger. So changing that dire interaction is part of the goal of biofeedback too. Of course, it's not just biofeedback. We all work in chronic pain. You know that you're looking to solve those problems in other ways. And I use those techniques too, but biofeedback just has an extra little edge sometimes. The reset to baseline idea is important. Homeostasis is a term for the collective baselines. And the more we can reset ourselves, just like the shock absorber on a car, when it's new, go over a bump, boom, and it quickly stabilizes you, just a couple of seconds. Boom. An old shock absorber, boom, and the car's swaying, and you kind of grab onto the wheel. Maybe 10 seconds later, it's starting to stabilize. That's the body under stress. It's the mind under stress. To quick return to the baseline. When something's over, it's over. Cats are that way. Dog barks, they get all whistly. Dog stops barking. A few seconds, cat goes back to sleep. It's a nice way to live. Improve body usage. This is a simple thing about using muscles appropriately to lift things, stand and walk in a way that minimizes strain on your muscles to optimize the use of the skeleton. Things that physical therapists know. It's really good to have some background in that, reading or training or otherwise, because physical therapy has a lot to offer the biofeedback practice. And finally, the pre-pain warning signs. Things that are not pain yet. Might be a subtle tightness or a feeling of contraction in a muscle or a kind of premonitory, and it's well known in migraines, the premonitory symptoms of yawning or fatigue or fogginess or a numbness for some people. I try to teach people to detect the beginning of those before it turns into frank pain. Advance warning. You do the same thing with anger management or losing your temper. You have to detect the first signs, whether it's physical or mental or emotional.